in studio.
We're back in the studio. Check it out. How cool is this? Yeah.
In person and in studio.
In the studio. Nice. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Not too bad. We're feeling a bit relaxed. I think it's a little bit tough for us at the moment because being back in studio, we don't get to hear the intro music.
We don't. We don't get that pumped up moment.
We weren't quite hyped.
Yeah.
Sufficiently hyped.
Our hype music.
But we're here now.
We are.
And we're all
I should get it for you guys. Like I should somehow set up a speaker.
That'd be cool.
That'd be great. Then
and
every
then
time it just introed in on us, we'd be grooving.
Yeah.
Dancing.
I think that's a good idea. It's worthwhile having.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, that would be cool. And now that I'm back in the studio, I have no idea where to look. It's camera. Is it a Gretchen? Is it at the screen?
It's everywhere.
Everywhere?
Yeah.
I can't
Have
do
more
that.
eyes, Dave.
More eyes. Well, let me tell you a little secret. Just kidding. Excellent. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, James. Welcome, I think I saw JT. We've got Ashlyn, Dave Hummel. Unfortunately, Leona, the chat is not coming up on the...
Yeah.
On the chat monitor. It's coming up on the
screen.
The big monitor.
Yeah.
The stream monitor, but not the
Fix this. I had a sinking suspicion.
A sinking suspicion?
A sinking suspicion.
Suspicions are always sinking. They're never rising, right? Never.
All right.
But yeah, doing pretty good.
Almost. We're going to see everybody soon.
Have a whole king cake in my freezer ready to go for Mardi Gras.
Oh, excellent. When's Mardi Gras again?
March 1st.
March 1st.
This year, yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's so far away.
Why the cake's in the freezer.
Good call. Good call.
Shipped from Louisiana.
Excellent. Does it just have the one tiny plastic baby in it?
It does have just the one baby.
Okay.
Sometimes
I wonder if they
ever
do they ever accidentally put...
Sometimes there's two. Well, and also most of the time, so you can get it with the baby already in there, but a lot of times they have it separate so that the person who got the king cake can just hide it in there. It's not baked into the cake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought it was baked into the cake.
No.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Cheap plastic baby should not be baked in the cake.
No, that melt.
No. That's fair.
Yeah, Betsy, here the whole week off Mardi Gras. I had to explain to people that in Louisiana, it you get so much time off for Mardi Gras, and no one believed me. And that was the biggest culture shock. Moving up to Maryland is that we didn't get Mardi Gras off.
Right.
I was so mad.
That's fair.
I was like, this is not. No. We should have off for Mardi Gras.
Oh gosh.
There's noises.
I'm sorry.
No worries. We'll be there in a second, folks. We're almost ready. It's been a while.
It has been.
Did we come to the studio at all in December?
No.
No? So...
Nope.
Well, you didn't, but Dave and Gretchen were here. No.
Jeff?
I did
Jeff and Gretchen.
earlier. Jeff.
Oh, right. Maybe we were.
Gretchen.
I've been gone so long. So long.
Oh my god.
No one forgets me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. We'll be with you in a second, folks. With the real people.
We're with it. It's fine.
Yes.
All right,
so for me then, it's
I
been...
have the chat. Oh, it's really small. Sorry, what were you going to say, Dave?
I was going to say it's been since November
Oh, yeah.
that I've been in the studio.
Wait, what is this about a baby and a cake? Yeah. It's baby Jesus.
Is that who it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, because it's all Fat Tuesday.
It's before Lent. Yeah.
All right,
Mardi Gras is a Catholic holiday.
I'm just going to say that for me, every Tuesday is
It's a
Fat
Fat
Tuesday. Yes.
And
There we go.
the 3 colors on top of the king cake are the 3 kings.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I did not know.
Yeah.
So there's gold. What color is frankincense? Is it green or purple? And myrrh would be the other
did not
one.
pay that much attention in science.
Is that what they... Until then, it's
But I'm
stories,
just
it's
repeating-
stories of babies and cakes.
Yes. I'm just repeating the things that were told to me when I was a child, which is baby Jesus, and those are the 3 kings. And
Awesome.
I'm sure the colors mean something because everything always means something, but
There's always a meaning.
that was not explained to me as a child.
Right, okay.
Um,
And you know me. I like to ask a lot of questions.
it's a mix between several different cultures that mixed together, that like Carnival and like I know there's a either Latin American or Hispanic holiday that also has a king cake type of deal. I don't know if it's called. I don't think it's called king cake.
Right.
But it's a very similar kind of cake.
Okay.
But I don't know enough about it to speak on it. Just that I've seen on Facebook a few of my friends have posted up that, and I was like, that's similar. I bet they're like distantly related cousins of like cultural things.
Sure. Cool.
But yeah, it's a fun little holiday.
There we go. Have we got everybody? Looks like we might... Yes, we can see the chat now.
I can tell you that there's a whole history of like Cajun people catching chickens.
Catching chickens?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Like-
Catching the chicken. Like someone would release like a live chicken and someone would have to catch it.
Like chase after it and catch
Yeah.
it. And it's not thrown at them.
Thing. No.
Like catching a
No,
softball
you gotta
or something.
catch the actual chicken.
Oh, okay.
That's a thing.
There you go. Is that a Mardi Gras thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not just like a Cajun. It's like it's a Cajun thing. That's like
Sure.
specific to that.
To that time.
Yeah.
To that wonderful
Apparently,
week.
like it's an old thing, like an old tradition.
Okay.
I've never taken part in it, but I've seen some pictures, like from some of my friends who were still in Louisiana. They posted up once, and I was like, oh, it's that thing that I've only heard about. Like,
I guess should we ask Betsy and Tim if I think
Yep.
I saw Betsy before.
fill in when the Pushmo parade. Yeah, I've been to a lot of parades because back when I lived in Lake Charles, we had like a bunch of stuff growing up, but I just grew up in it. I don't. You never ask questions like that when you're raised in it. I don't
Right.
think you just
Sure.
accept it.
It just happens.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
I never asked for any like clarifications on the traditions. I was just like brought out like it's parade season.
Sure.
Betsy, no chicken shenanigans around here.
Okay.
I'll find it. I'll find it for you, and I will send you. I'll be like, this is the chicken thing.
Right. Well, JT says now I want cake and I have no cake. Now I'm not a huge cake sort of fan.
King cake
I
kind
can
of to
take
me
cake, though.
tastes more like a cinnamon roll.
Okay.
It's like a yeasted dough,
Okay.
like
Well, I was going to say the thing that I was
or like a Danish if you get the cream cheese filling.
I was going to say the thing that I suddenly feel like I should be eating is like a chicken sandwich or something like that. That would be good.
I have to find the whole chicken thing.
Yep. Maybe you can bring one into the studio and release and chase it.
I have access to actual.
To actual chickens, to real live chickens.
I do.
That would be cool.
I have access to several real live chickens, not just one.
Nice.
And
Excellent.
they just changed the law where it is now legal to have backyard chickens in Baltimore County.
Oh wow.
Hey, for real?
Yep.
That's cool.
Is
Baltimore County, very recently, over the last week, I think.
That's interesting. I'm surprised that you weren't able to do that earlier.
So previously for Baltimore City, you could have chickens on less than an acre of land.
Yep.
But in Baltimore County, you had to have an acre.
Oh, okay. Right.
And now they changed it to where you can have less than an acre. And there's other restrictions and stuff, but
Sure.
they are less so.
Yep.
Ooh, painting question. How wet is too wet for the wet palette? I fail on mine, though it's not as dry as Gretchen's right now. Mine, I actually added more paper because I added too much water, and then it bloomed out like watercolor when I dipped to put my paint. And that was definitely too wet.
Right. Yes.
I misjudged. I could probably definitely like re-wet this because now it's pretty dry. But it was definitely too wet.
Yep. I think wet palettes are always going to be a personal preference thing as to sort of how wet they are. I don't like mine super wet, but when I swish, you can kind of see the moisture underneath in the sponge. But I have a friend, Greg Zaniga, up in New Jersey, who likes to have like his level of water. You can see around the edge of mine, around here. There's no, it's sort of damp, but there's no water pooling in there. But Greg loves to have like water would be up to that level, almost to the point where it's sort of the paper is sort of floating on water, and he likes to have it like that. So all of his paints are laser paints are very thin, but yeah, really it's just about there being transference of moisture from the sponge up into the paint to keep it moist a little bit longer. So if you're finding that during your painting session that the paint is drying out on you, then it's not sort of moist enough. You'll need to add some more water. But if it's staying moist all through your painting session, and then when you put the lid on it, make sure it's sealed, and you come back sort of later in the day or the next day, and you've still got some paint that you can use there, it should be all good. If not, add a little bit more water. Yeah. But who are we painting today? We haven't talked about who we're painting.
Oh, that's true. I am painting the Brittle Maiden, I believe, is her name.
We're painting models from here.
Yeah, so she is very icy, and I am starting with a very dark base coat of, I think actually I even used the much darker.
The super dark blue.
Yeah, I use dark sea blue, which is
cool.
one I've used before for ice.
Yep. That is a neat one.
And I also am adding some metal medium over it to give it a sheen.
Oh, cool.
But
it will have that crystal sparkle.
kind of that crystal. Like, I want it to look very like glacier icy.
Ah, right. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I want it to look sturdy.
I'm painting the cold crone here. So, whoop, wrong side. This one. Yeah. So the strange owl ram.
Yeah.
The horned owl.
It is quite literally a horned owl.
With feet and hands. But I'm starting with a purple base. So I'm going to work through up through the blue-green from Vallejo. There, it's a little bit more greenish, more teal than looks like on the screen at the moment, but that could just be our screen. So yeah, I'm going to mix some of that in and start highlighting that up, just blending up. The base, it looks like the base has a lot of purple in the base as well. So
Yeah.
Purple with some gray, and then the snow over the top. Yeah, it should be fun just to mess around with these. So yeah, these are from Gale Force 9, the Dungeons and Dragons range. I think they're resin models, so quite light, but got a lot of detail in them. Very nice. Cool. Dave Hummel says, environment can affect it. I'm constantly adding a bit of water to it over the course of a painting session. So yeah, absolutely true there. Because Dave's out in Arizona. It's usually super dry there. Yep, having some water on hand is definitely advantageous. Josh Potter uses a ceramic tile for his palette. Tried the wet palette before, couldn't get it right. It can take a little bit, but a ceramic tile is really good because you can then, once you finish painting, you can wash it off and start again.
Yeah, that is a good idea.
So, and usually if you're doing something that's about this sort of size, you can get those for like a buck or two from Home Depot. Nice. JT says, okay, thanks. Tend to get the level of moisture that Dave has, but never too sure if it was sufficient or not. Oh, Dave wants to know if you're going to use some glitter.
Maybe. I don't have glitter here.
We can get it, though.
Yeah, I have glitter at home.
Yep. Sorry, Jason. Gretchen did not bring the glitter. But yes, welcome everybody. Sorry if we missed you earlier to say hi to, because we had a few issues with getting our...
Yes, we were having some technical issues.
Getting
As
our chat.
I, for some reason, was able to log into a different chat account, and then the chat didn't come up, so that was exciting.
Yeah.
But thank you to everyone who is joining.
Yep. Very cool. What is everybody painting this evening? What's everybody working on? Maybe it isn't this evening. Maybe you're just kicking back, relaxing, listening to our dulcet tones, or our conversations about king cake. But if not, what are you painting?
Anytime someone asks me what the show's about, I say watching paint dry.
Watching paint dry. Nice. I usually say there's a topic du jour, and we do some painting at the same time.
It keeps it fun, keeps it light.
Yep. Putting this, mixing this. Oh, I know why I'm getting that colour. Not getting the colour I was after. I was mixing in the wrong paint. That's not going to work. So there we go. Let's try that now. That's better. So I was mixing in some deep sky blue, which is, of course, a very pale blue. Now, mixing in that blue-green. Yeah, this is more like it. But mixing it in with the hexed lichen to start with really desaturates it. So I think once I see it there, once I start to mix in some more of it, we'll get that saturation back. What have people been saying?
Like the tiniest bit of dry brushing going on here,
Yep.
just to get all the edge highlights going.
Yep. Jason asks, is the snow molded onto the bases? Yes, it is. So we'll be able to paint that on with some white and some pale blue to give it a little bit of a tint. Mark says, hiya, hope everyone is feeling better. I think so. There's a general improvement in health, I think. They're still cranking through those Centurions. These are the Centurions that he was working on. Was that 2 weeks ago that we asked last time?
Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah.
So hopefully they're going well, and you won't have too many more to do, Dave. And Space Marine Centurions. Betsy is working on the second troll. If folks haven't been checking out the Facebook page recently, Betsy had an excellent troll posted up there from the Lord of the Rings. Was it Journeys of Middle-earth game? I think it's called.
Ooh.
Betsy will correct me. But yeah, looking very cool. So, And interested to see where you take the second one.
Speaking of Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
see, they're starting to really get on with that whole series that's been in the works for what feels like forever.
But it's really only been 18 months. Yeah. Maybe it's 2 years. I don't know.
Who really knows?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
So what's it called? What's the new series called? Did they announce that?
I actually forgot what it's called.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen like the title pop up. I think it's like
I think it's just called. Oh, here.
The Lord of the Rings, The Ring of Power.
Yes,
Like
that's
I
what
knew
it is.
the Rings of Power are in. It's in the title.
Okay.
I was gonna say I just know that they spoke about the rings and
Yeah.
they didn't really have anything to show.
Okay.
They were just like little glimpses here and there, and it's very hinted that it will but it's pretty much just like we're gonna follow how the rings were made and then probably the fall of Sauron. It's fine.
Right.
I don't know. I've heard a lot of back and forth on how much of the Silmarillion will actually be involved.
Okay.
I finally can finish the Lord of the Rings series and think about reading the Silmarillion
Right,
thanks to
okay.
my Christmas present.
Oh, you got the...
So here's the thing.
Yep.
There's a story with this. Okay. I have read The Lord of the Rings, except for the last chapter of the last book.
Right.
The Scourge of the Sky. The Owen is like, get out! And here's why. So when I was little, when I was like 11 or 12, is whenever I got the Lord of the Rings series to read. Right?
Yep.
And my mom got that for me, and she had to argue with the person that I was of the right reading level and everything, and I loved those books because it was right after the movies came out. And I was super excited because, like, I was like, man, the movies were awesome. Can't wait to read the books. Like, super excited. Little
Yep.
kid Gretchen, like, yes! Little fledgling nerd. Someone stole my book.
Boo!
I was in my middle school. We had to leave all of our books at the front of the cafeteria, and while we were at lunch, and because I had the movie copies, the last book had Aragorn on it, and everyone had the hots for Aragorn, and someone stole my book because it had Aragorn on it.
Like Viggo Mortensen, Aragorn. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a great
And I was on the last chapter of the last book, and I was really salty about it.
Right.
So salty, in fact, that I did not finish the series. And then when I became an adult and I was like, man, I really want to finish the series, I told myself that I would not get the books again unless I was buying a nice copy. Because I really
Right.
enjoyed the books, and I really like Lord of the Rings. So I was like, oh man, like, if I'm gonna shell out to get the books again, I want to get, like, really nice hardcover, good copies of Lord of the Rings.
Illustrated version, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, like real nice. Just like shell it out. And that was like an inside joke for a long time with my friends that I could be like dying on a deserted island, but I couldn't because I hadn't finished Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Just live forever, just being like, I haven't finished. But for Christmas, my husband knew the story, and so for Christmas, he got me a really nice hardcover. Finished the last chapter of the last book, but it happened, and if anyone steals this copy, I will bite them.
Sure.
I
You'll chase them down.
I'll chase them down with a sword. I'll be like, oh, you want to experience some Lord of the Rings?
I thought you might go sort of all Gollum on them.
Yeah, my
precious, you've stolen my precious.
Just, but yeah, so now I can actually enjoy that, and I'm excited, and I'm excited to do that as the new series comes out. And I've perused the Silmarillion. I haven't really read it.
I don't think anybody's really read it.
My husband has.
Yeah?
He's that kind of person.
Yeah, my brother has.
It's a certain kind
brother.
of person who's
Yeah.
who's read the Silmarillion all the way through and every other thing, and I married that person, so I don't know what that says about me.
And I don't know.
It says
if-
you don't have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
It
That's what
says
it does.
I have access to a Cliff Notes version of the
There we
Silmarillion
go.
at all times. Sean Gleason, he's read it, yeah. See,
Okay, so we've got three people we know. Your husband,
like,
Leo, and his brother, and Sean.
My brother did read it, and he told me, like, you don't really need to read it. So I was like, okay. He gave me the rundown, and that was good.
Betsy says my mum told me it was a great book for insomnia. Yes.
but yeah, I have the Cliff Notes in my house.
Awesome. That's cool. There we go. It's coming along. Yeah, nice. I got a copy of the Silmarillion when I was about 11 or 12. And, yeah. I did not get very far. Not at all. Ooh. James says the feed is cutting in and out. Oh. Not sure there. Okay. Dave said it was very hard to chew through. Talking about Silmarillion, I'm hoping, rather than the feed. JT started years ago but never finished. There we go. Jason said, I tried to read it, but the words were incredibly long and I got tired mispronouncing everything. That's a great thing if you're reading. You can just pronounce it the way you want to in your head.
No, you can't.
Sure you
Because
can.
when I got our smallest kitten, I named him Smaug. And my husband was like, you can only name him Smaug if you don't pronounce it Smog.
Small, right. Well, I mean, in your mind, if you're reading in your head, you don't have to read out loud. Nor do you have to read near anybody else who has actually
That's
read
what
the book.
happens when you marry someone who like was a professional linguist for a certain amount of time.
Right. Excellent. Nice. Josh Potter has listened to the audiobook of the Silmarillion. There you go. There's a life hack for you. Audiobooks. Well, Jess says best book ever. I was lucky enough to work on the Nicholas Hoult biography, Tolkien. Oh, very cool. I've read the Silmarillion a few times. Vast load of his other stuff. Has everybody seen Tolkien?
I have.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I thought it was very cool there. Nice work, Jess. I'm not sure exactly which work was yours in there, but I'm sure it was nice. James has the audiobooks. Jess says it's Tolkien, total Tolkien. I was going to say it's a cat. They don't care.
No, Calcifer cares.
Oh, okay. Calcifer is the biggest of cats, so.
He is quite large.
That's going along quite nicely. That's looking from the front.
Yeah.
So you're just going through and doing like a light dry brush over it?
I am, because it gets a daintier edge highlight with all of these shards, quite honestly, than trying to do that with the brush.
I'm trying to highlight them all.
Yeah.
Did you have flashbacks to the crystals on the dragon?
No, because I'm doing these completely different. I'm doing these very similar to how I did like the Frost Giant. They're just much smaller scale.
Okay.
And my color choices are a little less, since they're smaller, not
Right.
quite as...
Cool.
What minis are they?
deep blue.
Jess was asking.
Oh. Sorry, yeah, Jess is asking that. Where'd I put it? Here we go. They are from the DnD Collector Series. It's Auril the Frost Maiden. So apparently these are two of her forms. the what's it called, the Brittle Maiden. Is that the one you're painting? The one that Gretchen's
Yep.
painting, and I'm painting the Cold Crone, which is the horned owl with legs and arms. So, yeah, hopefully I'll get some of that, build up some more of that blue on her robes. I was tempted to do a little bit of sort of cross-hatching on the robes to give it a little bit of a like cloth texture. It kind of looks like that a little bit on the paint job, but I think because of all of those feathers on the main body, I
might
pass.
compete.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might not read as different textures, so I'll probably pass on that for the moment. But yeah, they're very nice models. Great detail on them. And of course, lovely and appropriate for winter.
I'm ready for winter to be done. I am not enjoying the cold.
That's fair.
I'm ready for spring.
Yeah. I'm also not a cold weather person. But one thing fun that's happened in our neighborhood is because I live near Johns Hopkins University, their like main campus. This winter they have turned the tennis courts on campus into an ice rink.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, yep, for real.
So awesome.
So if you are interested in ice skating and you're in Baltimore, you can actually go there and skate for free. You have to go online and like book a time slot.
That's so cool.
But yeah, they have so you get to like skate for free. They have skates you can borrow. They have you also get a snack and a warm beverage.
Love myself a snack and a warm beverage.
I'm telling you. Like cookies and hot chocolate or warm apple cider. If it sounds like I don't actually know what I'm talking about, that's because I've not been personally myself because I don't like the cold.
Oh, is it outside? Oh, yeah, it's the tennis
Yep.
courts. It is outside.
Yep. And just the idea of like standing on like thin metal rails,
See, I like
standing on
skating.
knife blades over a big ice block. Doesn't sound warm at all to me.
I like skating. I think it's fun. I can't think about the cold when I'm like, gotta go fast.
Right.
I am not bad at going, but I am very bad at stopping.
Okay. I would say unless you're on a long frozen river, that doesn't sound like a good thing.
I mean, the wall stops you.
Sure. But I don't know. It's gonna look pretty good. Starting to mix in a little bit of the deep sky blue now. I like when I got that look there on the palette. Blues and purples. Looking pretty neat. We got Devon says I'm loving this under 50 degree weather. That's fair as well. Josh Potter has ice storms. There he is. That's so good. And Jez says, that's awesome. I'm hoping that's about the ice skating rink.
Yeah, it was.
I was going to say it might possibly be about Shogun, because James is asking about Shogun.
No. It was about the ring.
Ashton says you can skate down my street for free. Excellent. Lovell says, very cool. Hi, Lovell. Welcome. It's Lovell or Lavelle. I'm terrible with names. Okay. Oh, Jess says, I live near Hadrian's Wall in the north of England. It's always winter here. That's true.
I would be so sad.
Excellent.
I would never leave my house.
Yeah?
I would just be like, nope, can't go out, not today. This
Too
is
cold
the
and dreary.
500th day in a row that I have not been out and about.
I think you'd
Whoops.
I think you'd adjust.
You know, you say that, and yet I've been here for many years. I've adjusted a little bit. I've adjusted to, like, enjoying the like 60-degree weather more than
Okay.
I previously did.
Right.
Like, I appreciate spring weather a lot. I still need a jacket. Which always confused my mom. She was like, but it's so warm out. And I'm like, not for me.
No.
I am small and made of lack of humidity. The less humid it is, the more my skin is unhappy.
Ah.
I'm made for like one singular environment.
You're super specific, right?
Yes, I have been adapted.
The bayou.
And if I am not properly in that environment, then I'm like, oh, no, this is not good.
That's super specialized. That is incredible specialization. Nice one. Jess says, have you folks seen Army Painter's speed paint? Looks pretty good. Yeah, we've. I've taken a look at some videos, and it does look quite good. I think hoping that pretty soon they might send us some samples. I got to talk to
We'll
Adam.
get to play? Said we'll get to play.
We get to play with them, yeah. So they're kind of having painters answer to contrast paints.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is very much like, well, the Army Painter's general sort of idea right from the start has always been about painting your armies quickly, getting them done and breaking down all of the roadblocks along the way. And so yeah, the speed paints should be interesting to experiment with. I watched some video reviews from folks like Brant at Goober Down Hobbies and Emil at from Squidmar, a few others as well. I think they're getting pretty good reviews. But yeah, it'll be definitely cool to check them out. What I'm doing now is just getting a base color down on the owl itself. This is a mix of the blue-green and some white to start with. I didn't want to have her too dark for this snowy horned owl. Oh, speaking of owls,
Oh, yeah.
let's talk about owls.
So those of you who follow my social media probably saw some cool pictures. I got to go to a kind of private lecture thing over the weekend where I got to learn about different animal training techniques focused on positive reinforcement training. And it was specifically through the lens of falconry and rehabilitation and working with raptors and birds of prey like that. So it was super cool, and I got to handle a giant eagle owl, golden eagle owl, and she was very lovely, and she reminded me a lot of my cat. I don't know why. Probably because they both...
Did you not have your glasses on?
I didn't, but not the point.
Okay.
But I think it's both. They're both so large and fluffy, and have a very similar kind of temperament.
Okay.
And they both kind of look like they were created by Jim Henson.
Okay.
Like there's like a secret puppeteer just.
Right.
But she was very lovely, and I got to have her fly to my arm, and hang out there for a little bit, which 6 pounds does not seem like a lot, but when your arm is just outstretched for like 5 minutes, it is quite a bit. And she was delightful and very polite. She had a 6-foot wingspan, and she made sure to fold her wings and land, instead of on the glove, she landed on my biceps specifically so she would not hit me with her wings. Which I don't know if that was so much politeness versus, ew, I don't want to touch you, but she did her best.
Cool. I'm sure it was being polite. Absolutely.
Jess says their claws are terrifying. Her claws in the picture, like you can see them wrapped around my bicep. They're good. They're claws.
Yep.
I was not concerned though. She was very, very sweet, and it kind of really did just feel like having like a big cat of sorts just balancing on my arm. Because she hooed not viciously, but she like hooed at us because she was feeling very broody, and so she was a little territorial when we first showed up. So she was hooing, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's such a noise.
Yeah.
And then she would make little feed me noises because she knew that we had food, we had treats. So she changed her tune. When we first walked up, she was like, "Who the hell are you?" And then she saw all the training baggies and treats and was like, "Oh, I've never eaten a day in my life. I'm starving," as animals ought to do.
Sure.
And she made a bunch of little tiny like noises.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me.
Yeah, it was very fun. I learned a whole lot. It was very educational, and got to talk to the woman about where to move on next if I wanted to continue doing a path and working with animals and that kind of stuff, and kind of build a network. And it was really fun. Got to see a bunch of different cool birds and learn a little bit about how to best work with animals. So, cool. Gonna apply some of that knowledge to my very anxious doggo. We'll see what works. But yeah, it was a fun time.
That's very cool.
Highly enjoyed it, and always fun to further educational experiences and find ways to learn more about relationships with critters.
I'd say like 10 out of 10 would be an owl perch again.
10 out of 10 would definitely let a giant bird land on me. Actually, one of the only things I could think of was she was talking about how it works with like birds and how it works with horses and like how great this program is. And I just wanted to be like, has anyone tried it on a cassowary? Like,
No! Nobody has tried that on a cassowary.
That was my first, like, the little gremlin inside of me. I did not say that because I am a polite person, but like this mischievous gremlin inside of me was like, do cassowaries imprint? Could you technically apply this to a danger bird that was like an actual danger bird? Like, eagles are one thing, but they have a Like, they have a very specific personality, which is why a lot of this training works very well with birds of prey. But in birds of not prey, in birds of terror,
Right.
how with that? I wanna know. I want someone to try that who's not me.
There's a like a fable or something like that, but there's a story about like a snake that needs to cross a river,
Like the in my nature.
and it gets to get carried across by whatever animal carries it across, and then the snake bites the animal, and the animal dies. And as the animal's dying, it's like, why did you do that? It's in my nature. I think cassowaries.
Or just their nature is just
Yes.
danger.
Pure danger.
Anything Steve Irwin ran away from, I feel like definitely wanted.
Yeah.
But I was just curious. I just wanted to be like, would someone?
Yeah.
Would they? I just want someone to try.
Boba Fett would probably try.
For my own, I did see that episode and I loved it.
There we go.
I haven't seen the most recent episode though, and all I see is people being like, spoilers, but I haven't seen any spoilers.
Right.
Just people yelling about spoilers.
Me too.
And it confuses me a lot because they're so angry, and I'm like, maybe we just have different friends. And we
Yeah.
lurk on different parts of the internet. I don't have that problem. I'm in my own weird bubble.
Yeah.
But I find that happens a lot with like different nerdy community things where people like, I'll catch wind of something having happened and I'll be like, I didn't know this was happening.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
My own naive small corner of the internet.
I like trying to sleuth things out based on like vague
I get
hints
so
from a variety of people.
confused.
But yeah.
90% of the time, I'm just confused.
Let me jump in here. Betsy says she's already told by F4GS to get the mega set for me. That's talking about the speed paints. I think the mega set is about $100.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's definitely very good. I think the paints are about $4 a bottle, somewhere in there, and they're sort of the usual sort of size for the dropper bottles from the Army Painter.
The starter set's about 45.
Oh.
Yeah, the size set's about 45.
About half of that.
Definitely good. Just as that's a lovely tone on her cloak. I'm going to guess that's me. It's looking all
Mine
right.
does not have a cloak.
Yeah. Josh says, sounds like speed paints have less brush and tide marks than contrasts. I think a lot of it comes, it comes down to how are you using it. But Luna said, yep, agreed. I think the paint consistency is a bit different. It is. Jez wants to know if you're going to train me with the positive reinforcement training.
I have to find treats that are Dave
Dave-friendly.
high reward treats.
Chocolate.
Just little chocolates.
Tim Tams.
Yeah.
Tim Tams are high reward treats. And their claws are terrifying. Yes, so are mine. My claws are terrifying. Eagle owl style. Just like this model. Josh says, speed paints are tempting, but I'm not sure I will invest. I have plenty of paint already and no project that necessarily needs to be finished in an alacritous manner. Look at you, busting out the big words, like necessarily and manner. Yep, that's fair as well. I think I'll probably just sort of experiment with what we get here, but might pick up some as and when needed. Jason said, I think that's a scorpion and the frog, so not a snake at all.
Close enough.
It works. Yeah, it works with scorpions and frogs. Definitely. Just as a great product and an improvement on an idea, I just don't have a great need for them. That's fair. Oh, Jess says they're the ones full of T-Rex DNA. I'm talking about birds of prey.
Well,
so.
I mean, theropods,
And raptors.
technically.
Yeah.
Any theropods are the dinosaurs that evolved eventually into birds.
Pod being feet, and Thera being warm feet. I'm not sure.
The difference between theropods and sauropods tend to be their hip bones.
Okay.
I mean, among other differences, but like sauropods would be things like Apatosaurus, Stegosaurus, those kind of dinosaurs, whereas theropods would be like your raptors, your classic, anything little and darty and teethy and.
Okay. So they got smaller pelvises, narrower pelvises, I guess.
Anything that looks like a bird pelvis.
Right.
Your gallimimuses.
Now you're just making up names.
Probably.
Cool. Yep. And it says, as Dave says, it's just a tool, so there'll be a learning curve, and you probably won't even necessarily need them to accomplish your goal. That's true. Did I read that out already? No, there we go. Speaking of T-Rex, I saw a new Jurassic something trailer the other day.
Yes, Jurassic World 3. It's supposed to come out this summer, and it's the third in the new trilogy, so it should be the final one.
I'm excited.
The Jurassic World one is supposed to somehow neatly tie everything together, and it has the original 3. So it's going to have Alan Grant's going to be back, you're going to have Ellie back, you're going to have Malcolm back, and they're all going to be in it.
Cool.
So we'll see, you'll see if they survive. I hope they do. I'm really curious to see how they kind of bookend everything, because I feel... Personally, I love Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic World. But I feel like Jurassic World started to kind of veer away from the original tone of Jurassic Park and the original kind of lessons of Jurassic Park. I think they almost fell victim to the things Jurassic Park kind of warns about. In a sense, and how the story is told, not in just repeating the same mistakes, but in,
Right.
I'm still interested in how it's gonna wrap everything up, and I hope they do more with the Mozar that got out. I'm really kind of sad they didn't do more with that as like a moment.
Which arc?
Did more with the Mozar.
Oh, the Mozart.
Yeah, I really wish they did more with that. I feel like they should have had like a moment.
I just let everybody know that if I do something like, oh, the Mozart, I still have no idea what's being discussed.
The really big one in the water that escaped and is now, I think, living in Hawaii. And I feel like they missed utilizing it as much as they could have. And then
A whole movie about that.
they could have.
could have
which
a
is
whole
what
movie
I
about
thought
that.
they were gonna focus on was like this Jaws moment, but they didn't. And then I'm also curious, the Camp Cretaceous that they have on Netflix, which isn't bad. I like a lot of things with how they did it, especially for the age group. There's a few things where I was like, not the best creative choice, but overall, I've enjoyed it. Apparently, that's all supposed to be canon to the Jurassic World franchise and series, which is very interesting. And I am going to be very curious to see if they try to weave any of that storyline into the final film, because it's all supposed to have been canon. And they've added a lot of very interesting things in the final season. Don't know if I agree with them all, but they're definitely interesting. If they're done correctly, then I think they could be cool. If they're done incorrectly, it's gonna feel like a cheap money grab for toys.
I know which one I'm preparing for.
It kind of, here's how I feel about the Jurassic World franchise. I don't hate it. I thoroughly enjoy it. But it kind of feels like, you know how The Mummy happened and it was really good, and then the sequel happened and that wasn't bad, but it was still like entertaining. And then like progressively, as you had more Mummy movies, they made it more and more and more kid friendly and took away a lot of the scariness and action packedness and just made it more sellable.
Yep.
That's how it feels with the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World franchise.
Right.
But you know what? It kind of feels the same way as how I feel about the book.
Okay.
Because for me, the book starts off being like, this is realistic. My suspension of disbelief is like, ooh, we can totally get on board with this pseudoscience. But at the end of it, Michael Crichton kind of goes, I didn't need that science anyway. We don't need anything about realistic animal behavior. Let's just get rid of it. And that's kind of how I feel about the Jurassic World franchise.
Right.
Is it's on brand in that kind of sense. Like Jurassic Park was like, this is man versus nature. Nah. And Jurassic World is like, what if dinosaurs didn't really act 100% like animals?
Yeah.
What if we made them really, really smart?
Especially for the last one, they were, that one monster was literally just like a human.
Yeah, what if we make them even more sentient? So that's kind of where it loses me, but it's still my fandom, and I love it. I could probably have a whole podcast about this. Just get rid of the minis, put some dinosaurs on the table, come talk dinosaurs with Gretchen. It's fine.
Well, the best part is that you can go back through all the episodes of the show and just pull out those little snippets and
There's
edit
so
them together.
many.
And you've got like 4 or 5 episodes already.
There's so many snippets of me just going on a tangent about Jurassic Park, but it's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, see, but it was more dinosaurs on film, and that's what we need more of. Also minis.
Yep. Yay. Excellent.
Yeah, I have opinion. I don't think it's bad. I still love it. It's I have a fun time watching it. I just occasionally go, that was a choice.
Yep.
To me, they're really good. The Jurassic World movies were really great theater experiences.
Yes.
And so that's why, like, I totally understand the, like, plot-wise, and there's some other things just in the world building that they're doing that doesn't make any sense, but I'm excited for the next movie because I love seeing movies in theaters, and I feel like it's going to be another...
Oh, I'm going to love it either way.
Humdinger.
It could be trash, and I would be like, dinosaurs!
But it's so...
Yes!
Like, especially the last one, I really liked that one in theaters. Like, that one...
Oh, and I mean, there were so many things that were definitely successful that I absolutely loved in it, where I felt like they were able to bring a sense of fear in certain aspects. Yeah. They took it away at other moments where I was like, why are we did so good. Put it back. But yeah, I definitely like, and it's interesting too, because if you follow a lot of the stuff with Jurassic Park, there's a lot of lore outside from when it got really popular when it first released. There was a lot of like comic book lore and gaming lore, and there was a lot of like rumors about what they were going to do with the films.
Okay.
And there was actually concept art that got leaked where they were talking about making half human, half dinosaurs in one of the films. And the concept art is like it kind of looks silly, but if you think about it, it would be scary. You're like, when I look at that, I laugh. But if I were to see that in real life, I would be like, oh no. But they didn't choose to go that route. However, some of those, there was a bunch of other stuff in that concept art, and some of it gets brought back up in some of the Jurassic World films. So always in the back of my mind, I just think of that concept art, and I'm like, are they gonna do it?
Is it gonna happen?
Is it? Are they gonna go that far? Like, they've thought about it. They've definitely thought about it.
Oh, also, I almost forgot. It is 8:00, so we can look at some minis.
Oh,
Let's
cool.
look at some minis then.
So just before we look at the minis, I'm going to say that I think if they do go down that path, I hope they do it in the same way as they did in Alien Resurrection,
Oh yeah.
where it took them like 8 iterations to get a Ripley that was going to produce a viable queen. But then you have the tubes where you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be some nightmare fuel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The concept art was pretty if it was done right, it would be pretty gruesome. You'd be like, ooh, bad.
I can imagine that, for sure. Okay. Oh, here we go, jumping into it. So first up, we've got Ashland's. This is Ashlaw. Barbarian. So I think that Ashland's actually posted a photo since this one.
Oh, for real?
I could be wrong, but I think Ashland has. We've finished the sort of the shading on the sword and perhaps not finished the base. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, looking very cool. That with that plaid on the
the tartan, yeah.
the shawl there. So looking very neat. There's some very fine lines that you've got to paint there.
Especially with the
layers.
draping of the fabric.
Yeah. Yep. Folded tartan is terrible to paint, but I think Ashland's done a great job there. And of course that wonderful red hair and the is working beautifully with the blue of the tartan. But yeah, excellent work there, Ashland. You did a great job. Oh, we mentioned Betsy's troll before. So this is the first one she's done. She's working on another one tonight. Yes, looking forward to seeing what you're going to do with that. Betsy has a habit of working through a variety of different color schemes. Mm-hmm. So rather than doing all of her trolls this color scheme, I think we're going to see some differences as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Very cool. Excellent work. Yep. Oh yeah, Ashton says, posted the final version last week. So I think we've got, because we missed last week, we've got a bit of a build up. But, oh cool. This is why I love it as well, because I usually see most of the photos that go up on the group, but I missed this one completely.
I like all the different tones in the green. It's very three-dimensional.
Yep, indeed. Remember that yellow up around the shoulders and the the front of the arms there is looking very cool. And yeah, those subtle changes all the way through, looking really good. Yeah, I think Carl, you've done an excellent job here. Oh, I worked on this dragon. Tried to follow some advice from Dave. Oh. I'm not sure what advice that might be, but it looks like it works.
That's when you just say it looks great.
Well, it looks like
so much for everything that's great about the dragon, and then you just be like excellent.
Take all the
credit.
All the credit. I can't take.
And
all
then
the
we know that it's not true.
Yeah. But I think one of my I was going to say, I think one of my favorite things is on the spines and the fan. Would that be called the fan? So you still got the greens and yellows through there, but putting in that brown shading, which feels like it's got a little bit of purple in it. I don't know whether that's just the yellow making it look purplish. But I love that definition that you've got there, Carl. Looking great. Very nice. Oh, Charlie Clark painted this guy for a friend recently.
This model, I love how tiny his head is.
Tiny, the incredible pinhead. Yep. Back in the day, there was a comic strip. I think it was in Dragon magazine, or it might have been in White Dwarf, but it was Thrud the Barbarian. And Thrud was very much like classic barbarian. It had that tiny head, and he had a little helmet with two little tiny horns.
Doing his best.
So this is very much, I think, a sort of a throwback to Thrud days.
Conan meets Crunk.
Yeah.
Does he speak squirrel?
But
Squeaker, squeaker, squeaker,
Yes.
squeak 'em.
Yeah, definitely cool. I think even though those legs do have some beef on them, I don't think it's quite matching the torso. I think you might have skipped some leg days. But yeah, looking good, and I like the choice for that pendant or the not pendant, but the
That's obviously armor.
necklace around there. Yeah, yep.
That's all he needs.
Yep. It's
Is-
got a bit of a meteoric
The
iron
shimmy.
kind of feel,
And he'll just
Yep.
deflect anything.
for sure. But no, looks excellent, Charlie. Nice work. Oh, Colton is working towards the first 50 power level of my Shadowkeeper's Crusade. 5 more left to fully detail. Yep. So these are Adeptus Custodes from Games Workshop from Warhammer 40,000. The guys on the right there, the 5 on the right there, and the big dreadnought in the middle are from Forge World. So they're all resin pieces. But yeah, looking really nice. That sort of black armor with the all of that gold trim detail is really popping nicely. And that red's an excellent accent color as well. Looking good, Colton. Yep. If anybody wants to paint up a Warhammer 40,000 army that doesn't have a lot of models in it, the Adeptus Custodes is the way to go. Oh, David Bowers. So this is the son of Betsy and Tim. Bowers 10 painted a warg. Warg.
Love those mushrooms.
Is it a
'cause they
warg or a
almost-
warg?
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 I gotta roll my R's a little bit more. That's right.
Warg.
Warg.
I don't know.
Warg.
That's how
Wow.
I'm pronouncing it.
Warg.
Warg.
Warg. Okay. But yeah, this is looking very cool, David. I think you've done an excellent job there. Those fierce, fierce red eyes. As Josh says, good job, bad doggy. But I really love those mushrooms as well.
They look like they're
That
glowing.
blue.
I like that.
They do.
Like
They
it
do.
would be the level in the video game where everything's glowy and cool, and you'd be, and then
Right.
that would just like pop out from the shadows.
Yep,
Yeah.
I can see that. Yep, looking really good. Nice work, David. Jeff Bennett. Ermandino for Infinity. That's looking very cool. A lot of great details there on, but that's what you get for Infinity models. But I love the way that you picked out all those details there. Those just noticed on the like the braces on the forearms there. They've got that nice little bluish tint to them, so differentiating them from the jacket and like the hoodie that he's wearing there. Looking good. I like the variety in the browns. Also looking cool. And I think it gives it a bit of a not completely a camouflage look, but it's obviously that they're trying to, that character is trying to make an effort to, I say a little effort to blend in, but of course there's that blaze orange going on. But like the basing is that,
looks like he
is
fits
that
in
similar
the
gray.
environment.
Looks like he fits in the environment. Yeah, the gray on the basing and the those
He belongs there.
sort of dead grass tufts there. But yeah, looking good, Jeff. Very cool. Nice. Oh, Betsy says thanks. He's proud of those mushrooms. Definitely should be. Oh, Jason's said not my best work, but at least good enough for the table.
I think it looks
Yeah.
fine.
I think they do. I think.
What is it? I recently saw a GIF. If you feel like you can't elegantly paint a dialect, there's a GIF of them being like, "We are not I was about to say delicate. They're not delicate creatures either, but they're not elegant."
They're not elegant. No.
Yeah, where the Cybermen are like, "You lack elegance," and they're like, "Dialects have no concept of elegance.
Yep.
You don't need elegance to paint it." But those
You
do
don't.
look very lovely. They're very neat. They're very tidy.
Yep.
They're fine for a board game.
I think they're the tough part with these. I've painted a bunch of Daleks, and the tough part is that there's, particularly when you do the those like bright colors, the red and the green and the blue there, going along then and painting all of those studs separately. So you like paint them with the metallic, or if you painted them black first and then paint the metallic over it. There's a lot of work in them. So I think sometimes that you can finish painting them and feel that you haven't done a really good job because you've spent a lot of time to get to a basic level. So that's the tough thing there. But I think, yeah, Jason, these look great. I am a big fan, though, of the brass one. Definitely good.
Do you want me to go back?
Ooh. No, it's cool. Okay. All good. Excellent. And yes, Jess says, exterminate. Had to say it. So yeah, Jeff just finished up this the other day. The Miss Miniatures Agrak. Brutal Croc. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it's Soran, for sure. So yeah, it's an excellent crocodile creature. Looking very cool. I think Jeff's got that same thing going on down those spines as Carl had with the dragon. So you've got that, when you've got that deep brown shading at the base of those spines coming up against that green, it's looking very cool and quite natural, which is neat. But I think my favorite thing is actually the texture. The color and the texture on the head of the mallet there. It looks good. It's very cool. Rock tone. A little bit of blue in there.
Very heavy.
It does look very heavy, doesn't it? Almost too heavy for
It has
that,
a weight.
like that thin,
Yeah.
the thin haft. It might snap.
I don't think you'll have a problem with that. It'll just bite you.
You can bite you after that, yeah. I don't think it doesn't run out of weapons there. But no, looking very cool, Jeff. Nice work. Oh, Jeff Holbrook. Rising Sun. I think we saw this when it was partway through.
Yep.
Yeah, where Jeff had done the painted the symbols on the drums. But yeah, this is looking good. Looking very cool. And I think going for that dark sort of cloth, whatever, what would that be? Skirt. With those red polka dots really frames the rest of it nicely. You've got that the pale green of the body there, and that face puts it all nice and center and keeps it framed really well. Yep, looking great, Jeff. Excited to see more from Rising Sun from you. Very cool. Oh, Joey Murray, early stages, but it's going.
Yeah,
It's
looks
very-
good.
I'm just trying to work out what's going on in the center. Oh, I think is that a sword or a weapon sort of impaled through the Space Marine? As he's sort of fallen back there. We can't see the face because the weapon's in the way. So possibly a shot from a different angle would give us a bit more of an idea there. But there's a lot of skulls though there, Joey. Falling down on those. You can hear a lot of cracking.
Gotta wonder if he's gonna join them.
Yep. I love the use of that big face, the big statue face behind there. For that base. Yep. Looking forward to seeing the rest of this diorama and seeing it develop. As Jess says, all the skulls. Definitely cool. Who was working on this? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, sorry. How did I not?
Is this JT?
This is JT.
JT was working on? So yeah, this is one I think 2 weeks ago. JT was working on the pilot that was going to be then put inside and hidden away. Nobody would ever see it.
But he would know it was there.
Exactly.
And I appreciate that because there's
Exactly.
definitely been times where I'm like, you know what?
Yep. No, I think JT's done an excellent job here. All that sort of the panel lining there has really given the. I think a lot of spaceships have the potential to look quite flat because even though they've got the little greeblies there, if you don't pay attention to the shading, they can start to feel flat. But yeah, JT's done an excellent job there, picking all those out and giving that. It's got it does have a bit of a grimy feel to it. It's been flying through like a polluted atmosphere.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking very cool, JT. Nice work. Oh, Mark has finished painting up his Warhammer Underworld's Sepulchral Guard and putting them together on this display base.
I love seeing minis in display bases and stuff where you get to see the whole environment kind of take shape.
Yep, definitely, I agree. You're going to see this next month at Adepticon. I'm sure Mark is going to be entering that in the Golden Demon. But yeah, I think it's looking very cool. There's that feel of that guy at the back there with the cloak, sort of flowing forward. You just got that great feel of like the wind coming through that gate, like whipping through that gate there and just pushing it out. It's going to be a very cold, very smelly wind, a stench of death. But yeah, nice work, Mark. Looks great. Well done. Best of luck. Oh, and Steve.
Man, bear, pig.
Man, bear, pig. That is certainly an abomination. That is frightening.
You know what? It is something that needs all caps. That is. I feel like that's not a man, bear, pig. I feel like that is a man, bear, pig.
Yep.
Just. That's what that is. How does one find that? Did you?
That particular model, or
Yeah, like any part of finding that. How does one find that in an adventure? How does one find a model of that?
I think you have to stumble on it, like as you're looking at like a website for other things.
And you're just like that. I
And
mean,
you're
to be
sort of
fair, if I
scrolling
saw
through.
that, if I was going through and I just was like, do, man, bear, pig, I'd be like,
Buy it now.
I
Click.
need that.
Buy it.
I don't know why I need that, but I do, because my adventuring party needs to run into it.
Yep. That's absolutely frightening.
You know, it would be great too if like it was just hanging out somewhere in the woods and like the lead up to people finding it in the campaign was like rumors about a bear or a pig or a man. And
Right.
just all these like kind of, I heard it was, you know,
Everybody has a
everyone
different
has a different
story.
rumor.
Right, yeah.
And then it turns out they're all true.
Yeah. Yep. That's perfect. Yeah.
And just kind of like the party's just trying to like piece it together, and then you're like, no.
Yep.
Man, bear, pig.
Yep. Could we sort of get to the point where the credibility of everybody is so destroyed that the party thinks it's nothing. It's none of these things.
Oh my god,
It's a
that'd be
fox.
great. Yeah.
It was actually a fox that did all this.
It's like one drunkard's like, I swear it was a bear who took my leg.
Yeah.
You know, barmaid's like, no, the pigs in this woods, they get big.
Yeah.
Like,
Razorback big.
yeah, someone else is like, no, it's old man Jenkins. He's always up to no good.
Awesome. But yeah, so he'll be using it in a D&D campaign for sure.
Let us
Should
know how that
totally-
goes.
Yep. We want to know how you introduce it. Let us know, Steve.
I feel like it either needs the build up or it just needs to be, nah! Man, bear, pig. You're walking
fantastic.
along, you hear a crunch, roll for initiative. Man, bear, pig.
Man, man, big.
He's here.
That's awesome. So cool. Nice. Just as the children of the village went off into the woods with the tavern chef and one child named Kenny has already died. You killed Kenny! Fantastic. Nice one, Steve. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you very much for sending us or sending Leona or posting them in the group in the Wednesday post that she puts up. But yeah, so if you aren't a member of the Facebook group, come along and join us. It's Painting Happy Little Minis, so it shouldn't be too tough to find. But yeah, join, jump in and start posting pictures of miniatures that you're working on, questions you might have, things you want to show off, all sorts of stuff. As long as it's mini related, we are happy to see it. Very cool. And yes, Dave says, "Yay! Nice job, everyone." And Jet says, "Great, inspiring minis again." Yep. I think one of the very cool things that about tonight's group is that everything was different.
Everything was different. We didn't have a theme by accident. Sometimes we accidentally have a theme.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is always fun to see kind of what the popular
Yeah. What the zeitgeist is saying that
Yeah.
is important for sure. No, that's cool. Very good. Thank you, everybody. We are excited to see them. Yeah, looking good. So I'm kind of close to finishing.
Yeah, me too. I'm just about don't really know what more I can do for her. She's pretty
Looking very
pretty icy.
icy.
Kind of reminds me of those guys from the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I did a much darker blue than her art.
All right.
Got that grimdark filter going on.
Yep.
But I just like the way it makes the ice shards look a little bit more dramatic and sharp.
Right.
Do you want to paint the winter womb?
Ooh.
What's it called?
The winter's womb.
Sure.
Oh,
Winter's
cool.
womb. What's that gonna... It feels like something's gonna...
Is that where she's born
I'll
from?
put her on.
I hope.
And then if you wanted to work on this guy, you could.
Oh,
Or you
yeah.
could work on the guy that you brought.
Yeah.
Ba-doop, ba-doop.
Look at that. We mentioned that we're like getting kind of close to finishing a model, and it was like
Yeah.
cracking the whip.
Bam.
More minis to paint.
Keep
More minis to
painting.
paint.
No, I didn't mean that.
I'm gonna take it a little bit easier then.
I didn't mean that. I meant if you,
I
just
know,
want
I
you
know.
to have something to do.
I know.
So feel like you have to just.
Like sit there
Chit-chat.
and
I'm gonna go in front of
Do it.
this.
Do it. Do it.
You can't see.
excellent. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I think that because you started with that very deep blue. The tips of those, like ice shards, look super sharp. Very dangerous. Yep, excellent work.
Gotta get that drama.
Yep, I think you nailed that. Yeah, it does definitely have that White Walker kind of feel to it.
It's just funny because I was looking at her, the top of her head reminds me of the Statue of Liberty
Okay.
the entire time.
So, can you take us through a little bit of how you painted?
Sure. So I started off with a very, very dark blue, and then I went in where the shards were, and kind of in the center, thickest part of the shard, I did a bit of a medium blue and blended that out. And then I went back and I did edge highlighting, mostly via dry brushing because everything was so teeny. But I went back with the white to kind of mimic more of that glacial feel. I did the same technique when I painted the big frost giant for that very kind of deep, dark, icy tone. But to me, that I don't know how to describe it other than glacial because you see it more in like big hunks of ice
Sure.
rather than frail bits of ice.
Yep.
But that darker blue in the center to me looks more sturdy,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
old ice.
Correct.
Like as opposed to ice that you would see in icicles or in snowflakes or thin surface level ice.
No, definitely. You've got to have the depth for it to get that refraction of the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to do with her as well, because one, I think it looks pretty, and two, I wanted a little bit more more danger. I didn't want her to look like you could touch her and she would fracture and
Right.
kind of break. So
No, I think it looks very cool. Definitely got that dangerous cold.
yeah, and then
Feel.
a very, very light dusting of very sparse dry brushing to kind of on some of them, make it look a little bit more scratched up, as you would see in some of those big hunks of ice.
Okay. Yep.
I don't know how to describe it other than that.
No.
Look up pictures of glaciers.
Yep.
And that's what my brain was referencing.
No, definitely cool. Nice work. Cool. Yeah, Dave says, "What? You're done?" I know. This is the first time in a long time that we're sort of finished in one show.
Yeah. Sometimes
What's going on? Maybe it's the studio.
it's being back in the
here.
studio.
Yeah. It's the lighting. I can find my paints.
I don't have a cat constantly trying to sit in my lap.
Yeah, there's that.
You guys can't always see it. I know several times the smallest kitten I've seen his like paws just reach up to like bap my face
Yeah.
when we're at home. But the small kitten will try to definitely steal the show, whereas the large cat is typically off camera trying to eat the minis. He's really bad about he wants to eat miniatures. I don't know why. I don't know how that's like a thing that ended up being a thing, but Calcifer wants to eat the minis.
I don't know. Don't all cats want to eat everything?
Maybe.
I think in a general sense. Okay. Need a little bit more white. There we go. So I'm coming along and just working on the snow on the base. Let's get that done. My guy's done. But we are getting silent
We are. That's
towards the end of the show.
what always happens.
Run out of the talking
Dave,
top.
did you want to talk about the photo that you sent in, or?
Yeah, I'll just get this snow finished
Okay, cool. Yeah.
and get this guy,
no
this
worries.
gal done.
I just want to make sure you didn't forget.
Oh yeah, no. Just need to concentrate a little bit on that to talk about it. But there we go. So the on the base, somebody asked before if it was sculpted texture, and it is. So the rocks are very, not very, but they've got a bit of an edge to them, a little bit of texture on them, and the snow itself is very smooth. So I think it would benefit from a little bit of a gloss varnish mixed with a pearlescent medium.
Yeah, I did the metal.
Metallic medium?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
On mine. Kind of get a sheen of sorts.
Yeah, I might. Can I get you to toss it over?
I can. Beep. Haha.
Thank you.
Have a bit of that mixed in for her on the blue parts, because typically that's more shiny than the scuffed up bits of ice.
Right. Yep.
And then on the snow, I put it on there.
So this is the it's Vallejo. Oh, there we go. Get my other hand out of the way. Vallejo metal medium. So I'm not actually going to mix any color in with it. Did you just paint it over the top?
Yep.
Cool.
Before it dried, it had a little bit of a white cast where it built up, but as long as everything else was dry, it dried
Yeah.
as it needed to. And then I'm putting a little bit of the shifters on the magical little piece because it's magical snow. So,
Excellent. Oh, do you need me to throw this back?
nah. I don't think I'll get to the other parts, the non-magical
No,
snow.
no, magical parts.
But you can kind of see how that shiny crystal,
Here we
little,
go.
little magical girl bit right there.
Okay, almost done. Okay, and add the cold crone to the spinner. There we go. Ta-da!
Ooh.
Leona's gone to the bathroom, hasn't she?
Here, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No worries. Sorry.
I'm here.
I'm
Excellent.
here.
Cool. There we go.
It just was quiet, and then I got a little distracted.
Right. No worries. That's fine.
So yeah, these are the two. This is the Bristol Maiden. Oh my goodness, Bristol. Brittle Maiden.
Brittle Maiden.
And the Cold Crone.
Yep.
Two forms of Aro, the goddess or whatever.
I
Oh,
like
the
how
Frost
soft
Maiden.
yours
The Frost
looks.
Maiden.
Fun?
I said I like how soft yours looks in comparison to mine. Like everything
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
yours looks, it's rounded and it's
Yep.
soft and feathery.
Feathery. Yep. Yep. Whereas yours is just all ice all the time. Cutting shards. Yep. Looking good. Very cool. Excellent. What do we got? It was a great way to tell a new story. Well, tell the same story in a new way, but without being slavishly tied to everything.
Okay.
But I thought it was cool. Yep, did a very good job. 10 out of 10 would see again.
What movie was it?
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh.
Yeah. Definitely cool. But what have we got else there? Just as I finished the shield I was making during the last show, had a shoot, pics on Instagram, and did more Stargrave terrain. Got some ranges of Shadow Deep minis undercoated, waiting for the paint next. Excellent. So, Jez, what's your Instagram handle again? Pop it in the chat so that we can go and check you out on Instagram and check out that shield. Very cool. Yep, just looks great. Creamy blending. Cool, pun intended. This one's Sean. Oh, and did we cut out again?
Did we?
I'm going to blame the rain and the fog. We've got a lot of
Yeah,
fog.
it is very rainy over here today. We're supposed to be getting another winter storm this weekend, but I don't know if it'll actually get cold enough for us to get the winter part of it.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I think Saturday's supposed to be pretty cold.
I'm really hoping not. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I have a friend coming from Virginia, and I would really like us not to cancel our plans.
Right. That's fair.
So here's hoping it's warm weather forever. I'm with you, Gretchen. Warm, warm, warm.
Warm, warm, warm. Warm weather forever.
I'm not a fan of the whole global warming thing, but I winter should be during the winter time, and summer should be during the summertime, and spring should be during the springtime.
Right.
And because
The flip-flop.
yeah, I don't like the flip-flopping back and forth. Like
Yeah.
it just needs to be a steady
Yeah, that's
temperature.
what makes me sick.
Yeah. Just a steady temperature.
That would be good. That would be good.
All I want. All I want for Valentine's Day is
Nice. Oh, Jez said it's Jez Ancestor. So all one word, Jez Ancestor on IG, Instagram. So we'll have to go and check that out. Very cool. But yeah, Leona, if you would like to pop up that photo that I sent through, that would be cool. Oh, there we go. So I think it was 3 weeks ago.
yeah.
I showed the Grillet box that I was working on. It was a bit of a tribute to my dad, who passed away last summer, or winter for him. But yeah, I finished building it all, and I think I might have put some build photos on the group.
Yes.
I did? Cool, thank you. And then sort of went into painting it, and I decided to limit my palette quite a bit to basically reds, oranges, browns, yellows, creams, blacks, and greys. So there's no blue, there's no green in there. But the main thing I wanted to do was sort of have it feel like there was a spotlight on the center there, which I think I achieved fairly well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, and that's all done with painting rather than with actually putting a spotlight on it for the photo. So the banner, for example, as it goes up, it actually is visibly darker. If you were to pull it out, you'll see the highlights down the bottom, but where it's sort of, that arrow forms that very obvious pointing towards the representation of my dad there. Everything that's in and around that area has got a lot of depth and sort of contrast to it, but as you move out to the sides and up into those corners, there's a lot less of that contrast. So it pushes that focus back towards the center there. But yeah, that little handbill that I did, Dave asked if it's a family crest. No, it's not. I wanted somewhere that I could fit in, like fishing, because my dad loved to fish. And so I looked up, I wanted to put it on that banner, and I looked up some Imperial Knight sort of icons, and there was one that was like a mailed fist, or a gauntleted fist, holding a snake. So I just sort of turned the head of the snake into a fish and gave it a little bit of a fish tail at the back there. So it's kind of like a snakehead fish, which is a very Maryland thing. But yeah, so that's the connection to his love of fishing. And that handbill there was kind of like maybe half of the things that he was into, that could be translated into like a Necromunda, more of 40,000 Necromunda style setting. So things like extensions of hab dwellings, building all styles of furniture, excavating storage locations, repair of broken masonry and walls, decoration of hab exteriors, interiors, restoration of priceless artifacts, rebuilding of ancient transport vehicles, evaluation and repair of combustion engines, renovation of stained glass, appraisals of estates and collections, exploration of upspire locations, guidance on the pilgrimage, because he did walked quite a few of the Caminos across Europe, navigation of the sumps, lakes, and rivers, instruction in fishing said lakes, and creation of folk art. But he,
That's so awesome.
but he had
It really is a masterpiece. It's done so well.
Yeah, thank you. There was a he used to hang out with some of his mates at a place, and it's like a workshop kind of area. And whenever one of them would be like, "Oh, it'd be a lot easier to do this if somebody could just do X," and my dad would go, "I can do that." And so we'd jump in and do that. And so over time, it became a bit of a sort of
A man of many talents.
a catchphrase. So yeah, he was just very passionate about working with his hands and building things and repairing things and that sort of thing. So super cool, very exciting to be able to work on that as a tribute for him. But yeah, thank you. So what are some of the comments? Dave, I saw you posted that. It's amazing. Yeah. Dave says, that's awesome, Dave. This is fantastic. Your dad would be so proud. We talked about the family crest. Not so much family crest. But details and bits are amazing. Oh, wow. The tools actual bits, or are they just painted? So, Jason, those parts are from the Mech Boy workshop from GW. Actually, yeah, if you could just for a sec. So, yeah, across the back there, that back panel in that center level is all from the Mech Boy workshop. The table with all the tools on it is from the Mech Boy workshop as well. Some of the other tools around about are from other GW kits. There's a stack of books on the right-hand side. Some of those are from Games Workshop. Some from there's a stack from the Mantic Terrain Crate there as well. But yeah, so each of those tools actually is part of that Mech Boy workshop. When I saw that particular kit, it was like, this is going to be perfect. Perfect, dude.
Sometimes things just line up.
Yeah, exactly. It was very serendipitous for sure. But yeah, just is a very cool way to enjoy memories, definitely. And thanks, Dave. So yeah, I just wanted to show everybody because we've been working on it. This has been my sort of downtime kind of stuff to work on there. So, but yeah, cool. Thank you very much, Leona. Okay. And now, which one did you want me to start on, Leona?
The guy.
You have 10 minutes. Go.
Oh, your Frost, not your Frost, your
You can start on the frameworks one if you
The
want.
frameworks model? Cool.
Yeah.
The Gretchen stand-in? Because it has
the owl.
It has the owl on it. Yep.
Well, you have reference pictures now.
I do. I'm going to have to go back and check those. But
What does it look like? Here, show it on your camera.
Say again?
Show it on your camera. Okay,
Sorry.
there it is.
I just realized you were looking at my belly. So yeah, there we go. So the frameworks, this is the frameworks Druid. And there's one that you can put together with the owl there. So you have to go back. I think the owl was it's like a lot of browns and blacks. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of warm browns,
Cool.
a lot of blacks, very, very orange red eyes,
Okay.
a lot of flecking on the feathers.
Okay. Cool. I'll just be able to
Yeah.
Really
Very
fine
fine.
points. Very fine points. But yeah, so that'll be cool. There's a lot of texture on the wings there at the back there.
That owl's a little bit smaller than the owl that I had.
Right.
Was it an owl that you were holding, or was
Yeah.
it a hawk? Okay.
Nope, it was an owl.
An
it was
eagle
an
owl.
eagle owl.
That's
Yep.
what.
Oh,
Hence the
okay.
confusion.
That's why it was a big boy.
Yes, it was a big boy. It does have little tufts on its head that look like similar to a great horned owl. But it is an eagle owl, which is not native to the United States.
Oh,
Interesting.
I don't think so. I
What's
don't
it-
think that's one of the ones that was.
where would it be
Native.
found?
I don't know the answer to that. I'd have to look that up. But I'm
Here,
pretty sure
I'll-
that's one of the
I'll look it
non-native
up.
ones. But yeah.
It resides in Eurasia.
Yeah, non-native. Ha! I can remember bird facts.
Cool.
American owl is a horned owl.
Yep, the great horned owl.
That's a good one for
That's
us.
what I painted tonight. With
You
the
did?
cloak.
I love when I see those blue owls flying in this. But American owls, we have screech owls, we have barn owls, we have great horned owls.
I love barn owls. They're my favorite.
We have
A snowy owl?
we have snowy owls.
Burrowing owl?
Those I think those are
Yep.
native. Yeah.
Yeah.
The burrow owl.
We have some other very small species of owl too. Not the screech owl, but there's another, I think, small owl species.
Short-eared owl?
Maybe?
It's called there's also like an elf owl.
Maybe.
An elf owl?
That's from Mexico area.
Okay.
So like still North America.
Yeah, still North America. I mean, I don't know all of the species of owls native in one go.
These are the owls
I
I
gotta
know.
work on it. Yeah.
These are the owls I know.
I gotta come up with a song. These are all
Song.
the native owls that I can think of.
Excellent. There will be a quiz at the end of the month.
At the end of the month, just what owl facts do you remember?
Very cool.
My brain only remembers animal facts at random times. None of them are ever times where it's useful. That's. I remember animal facts at their own magical moments. Pygmy owls. Yeah, that sounds right. I don't know.
The potbelly owl. You think? Potbelly owl? It's a cross between an owl and a potbelly pig.
Sounds terrifying. That
Man
does
owl
not
pig.
sound.
Man owl pig.
That doesn't sound like a silent animal. Which, by the way, it's
He's very far from silent.
well, of course, man bear pig is not silent.
No.
Man bear pig is. I imagine man bear pig makes a lot of very intricate, distinct noises.
Very distinct noises, yes.
Distinctive a man bear pig.
Yes. No other animal has quite the same trachea as man bear pig.
I would incorporate that into my game somehow. I don't know how I would get my players to, like, I would very much be the kind of GM where I would be like, I will let you add or detract, like, helpful stats if you make the noise of a man bear pig.
Yep.
That would definitely. I once made a bunch of Wookiee noises for a specific adventure. I was
Yeah.
a Wookiee, and they were like, "Will you make the noise?" And I was like, "Absolutely, I can't, but I will." Like, I
try.
could not make a Wookiee noise, but I will definitely make a noise a Wookiee would probably make.
Right. Yep.
So.
Oh, and then people had to guess the situation, the
Yeah,
context
because
of that
my
noise.
translator didn't work.
Right. Okay.
my translator for the Star Wars game we were playing, I think, like, was busted or something. So I was just like, noise.
Fantastic.
But that was a fun game too because I was a Wookiee medic.
Right.
And no one wanted to be treated by my character. They're like, I don't think she has gentle hands. And I was like, it's just stabbing you with, like, medical goo. It's fine.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm just going to walk it off. I'll be all right.
Sad Wookiee noises.
Yep. Cool. Nice. Dave says we have pygmy owls here. Very cool. Just says you've got that superb owl too. Here it's very important. Sorry. Super
That was a
bold.
prerequisite for the Star Wars RPG. If you chose a Wookiee, you at least have to attempt the noise. Yeah, see, you have to. I feel like you have to commit. You just have to go for it. You have to. If that is the character that you're going to be playing, then.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Gotta lock it down. Gotta.
I think that if you don't do the noise, if you're not going to do the noise,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be allowed to play.
No.
Okay.
Just feel like, where's the fun?
Yep.
Where's the joy?
Where's the whimsy? There we go.
Then,
That'd be good.
yeah.
Excellent.
Look at that speed paint go. I'm technically done with my little my.
It's in the little marker. Did
Yeah.
you just paint 2 miniatures in a show?
I did, but does this really like count as a full like?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're going to count a dragon as one miniature,
the
count
little
that
tiny.
little tiny wound marker or womb marker.
Yeah. Got a little bit of that sheen on it from the shifters because it's it's magical ice.
Yep.
So that's how we know it's magical. Look at that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Looks awesome.
Nice little sheen there. That actually, the camera's picking it up really good for once.
Yep. That looks good. Very cool.
A little bit of magic.
Nice work on that there.
So, yeah. Now you have to finish, Dave.
Well, I'm almost done. There we go. Look at that. I just need a couple more washes in different areas.
You have 4 minutes.
I'm not going to be able to do it.
So for next week, Gretchen and Dave are going to be painting up some frameworks models. Dave could either continue working on that one or paint up another one. Yeah, and we can look at Gretchen's.
Yes.
If people in the chat want to help Gretchen decide which ones, I'll go back in and respray them. I did a very bad job.
Drop the other one.
But we have that's a orc. No, that's a
Yep.
what?
An orc barbarian.
An orc barbarian. I gave him the axe because
He looks strong enough to lift it.
it was a lot easier to assemble.
Right.
And then there's I believe the dwarf, warrior, fighter, cleric.
Cleric. Yep.
And I gave the dwarf the battle hammer and also the shield,
Oh, cool.
which is different than Dave's. Dave's has the book.
Yep.
And then that's the Druid Lady. And I just gave her a dagger and a spear with the antler headdress, which let me tell you was a time to put on her head. I mean, I really like the models. It's not against the models. It was just that it was giving me some like Malifaux vibes
Yep.
of like
That's a lot of
that
people
little
saying
piece
Druid
was
Lady.
really tiny.
Everyone wants the Druid Lady.
Yep.
The girl with the spiky bits on her head.
Yep.
What is cool about her is she has a cape, a very
She does.
nice
She does
flowy.
have like a cloak, and it has. I don't know if you can really see it up on there, but there's embroidery.
Yep.
Along the edge of that is actually sculpted into the sculpt. So very like Celtic-y kind of embroidery that goes
Yep.
along there.
It does look very cool.
It matches her bracers.
Nice. What color do you think you'd do that coat?
Ooh, I'm always tempted to do greens.
Right.
With between the Celtic-y kind of embroidery going on there and the druid-y kind of thing. Always tempted for greens. So I feel like a blue coat is always a solid choice.
Oh, so you're going to go blue?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because I'm going to do something different.
Oh.
So,
A different druid.
If you're going to go blue, I'll do. I'll go with the green.
You'll go with the green?
I'll go with the brownie green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brownie green for you. I'll do blues.
Blue, maybe
Yeah.
leaning towards green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Good.
Coordinated.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. But yes. Time we got. Oh, it is 8:59. 8:59 already. How did that sneak up on us?
It really did.
The last 15 minutes actually. It was like went pretty quick.
Ooh, a lot of people saying fall colors. That would be nice.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Little autumnal kind of vibe. I like that.
Yep, that'd be good. Are there leaves on that staff?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
There's a texture that I could probably either pick out as berries, or if I wanted to, I could probably make it look like leaves.
Okay. I vote leaves.
As it is a texture.
That would help with that autumnal
A
kind of feel.
texture of sorts.
Nice.
My eyes are not that good.
Cool thing. Excellent. Okay. I also brought along this little bit.
You did?
I've been painting a lot of dungeons recently. You know why?
Why is that?
They get it. Being nice and asking. Except we're working on a book with Jeff Hall.
Tell me about your book, Dave.
Sure.
I know nothing about it.
No, Jeff and I are working on a book called The Tremendous Tome of Decorating Dungeons, which is all about making 3D dungeons more immersive, so stepping them up. It might be taking like pre-painted stuff like Dwarven Forge or Warlock tiles from WizKids and adding set dressing to it. So some of the stuff from the Terrain Crate from Mantic, for example, that kind of thing. Or doing what I did with this. This was I took some unpainted Dwarven Forge stuff that Jeff had. I did there's probably how many pieces would there be? Probably 200 pieces that I painted in this scheme. We gave them a bit more of a like a grey stone, but a very sort of green, dank, moldy kind of dungeon.
It's a wet environment.
A wet environment, yeah. It's definitely below the water level, water table kind of feel. But yeah, I painted up, probably about 200 pieces. It took me about 8 hours, 7 or 8 hours. So priming, dry brushing, lots of dry brushing. We talked a couple of weeks ago about the Army Painter dry brushes, the ones that are like the what do you call it? Yep. You can see there's still
They're
some
like
dried
makeup
paint
brushes.
in there. Can't quite see it on camera, but you can see it
I can see
dusting
it.
away. Yeah. But yeah, these are really really good. I used this sort of brush. Oh, there's much more in that one.
Dave says, Leona,
Looks like
are you
it's
playing
smoking.
them off? Too bad y'all can't hear the dramatic music. Oh no!
I was,
But we can't hear the music.
I was, but because I thought they were gonna close out. Sorry, everybody. if that was too loud, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can't hear the music, so a speaker would be great. We'd know if we were being played off. But anyway, so yeah, most of the grey was with this this guy, and then the light brush was with this one, and they work really well. Very happy with it.
Excellent.
But yes, so it goes to Kickstarter next Thursday. Look out for it. I'm gonna post some stuff
Hear
in the
that?
group about it. So-
Next Thursday.
next Thursday. So it's going to be super frightening for me to be here next Thursday. It's Thursday night because we'll be like 7 hours into the campaign, and I'm going to be freaking out.
Exciting. So if you want to see Dave freak out, join us next Thursday, where we can watch Dave freak out and also paint some minis.
Paint some minis. Exactly. Thank you very much for indulging me.
And on that note, have a wonderful weekend, guys. We will see you next Thursday on Painting Happy Little Minis.
Bye.